And this is like the first week of school, right?
No, it
All
was
right.
like it was a couple weeks in.
Right,
You know what I mean? There was a girl I was trying to chirp.
That went south, yeah.
And I had to come up with plan B.
Her
which
sister.
was, I'm not gonna take your lunch money if you.
All right, guys, you can share your curly perm nightmares because it's 2022. It's the New Year's edition of the Great Black Detox Clinic. We've got a couple of questions coming in. So listen, guys, I'm going to jump to a IG question real quick. Then we're going to come back to the Zoom. So thanks for you. If it's the first time on the Zoom, remember, if you want to ask the question, just raise your hand in the app. The participation button at the bottom, there's a button and an icon to raise your hand. Let us know you have a question. Or just let us know in the chat and we'll come to you. Same thing for you guys in the IG and on YouTube. Of course, you can just go to the live chat in YouTube. So on the IG, we had a question from, here we go. J Foxy J. All right, what causes cysts in the body, Dr. Amty? What causes cysts in
All
the
right,
body?
so cysts are growth where you have fluid caught in a sac, right? And it's caused by inflammation. It's something that can be caused by any kind of pathogen that's in the body that's had an effect on cells or on tissue in the body, and either it can cause a tumorous growth or it can cause a cyst, right? So cysts are usually sacs filled with pus or other substances, and they can grow anywhere from a few millimeters to very large, like we're talking size of like a grapefruit, right? So there are different cysts that grow on the body, like if you know about the Hunchback of Notre Dame, or Notre Dame as they say in this country, right? That was a cyst that grew on the back. Now, the most popular cysts nowadays, and they're not popular, but the most common, are ovarian cysts that grow in the uterus, in the ovaries of women, and the root cause of those cysts, and you can get cysts in your breasts as well. Cysts can grow basically anywhere, but it depends upon your epigenetics where pathogens are going to be most potent or where they will attack the most. All right, so estrogen dominance, which is something that plagues the black community, especially black women, is the root cause of ovarian cysts. So you have ovarian cysts, and you have this thing called PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome or ovarian syndrome, where there's multiple cysts that grow. So some people may get one cyst that grows extremely large. Then you have other people who have multiple cysts, and there might be a cluster, a whole bunch of them. But then you have some people who have multiple cysts, and you have some extremely large ones, and it ranges in size. So cysts are, again, this is a form of inflammation, right? So there are inflammatory cells that, while trying to get rid of pathogens, bacteria, your microbes in the body, it causes damage or growths in the body when these inflammatory cells go out to destroy them. All right, and it can also be caused by irritants, chemicals that are ingested. All right, so even if they are not pathogens, the ovarian cysts and cysts of the breasts and what have you, they are caused by estrogen dominance, by cells being overwhelmed by estrogen and inflammatory cells. Okay.
Excellent. Okay. So guys, yeah, in the IG, again, we'll do our best to get to your questions. You guys were lucky because you were on here first, so we got to you first. I've still got a few more in IG to get to, but we're going to jump back and forth. We're going to go into our Zoom session now. I'll take a couple of questions. Pamela, I see you've been on here diligently waiting for a little while. How are you doing, Pamela? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you?
Here's
my question. Then
yes.
are you? And then just jump right on into my question. My question, it can be seen as general, but it's a little bit general and specific. It's sleep and rapid eye movement. I've always studied when it tells you how many hours of sleep, say, a child should have, or how many a senior should have? Is there a set pattern to that? Because I'm not getting those hours that they're saying for seniors and haven't been able to sleep that thoroughly in quite a while. So give me a general idea of sleep and sleep patterns and rapid eye movement. And is there a set amount of sleep for different age groups?
I mean, generally, there's, you know, we are told that 8 hours of sleep is the recommended amount of sleep for everybody, but not everyone's the same. And as we get older, and we're not growing anymore, because growth happens during sleep, right?
Okay.
While we're not growing anymore, we don't require as much sleep. So there are the lazy years where you got teenagers can sleep for 12 hours, 14 hours when they're going through their growth spurts, right? And it usually happens in the summer, right? But there's no set amount. There's where sleep deprivation, there's a threshold of sleep deprivation where if you're sleeping 1 hour or 2 hours and you're light sleeping and all that, you can be causing oxidative stress. There are different types of stress, right? But you can be causing stress on your body because during the melatonin cycle, that's where your body is actually resting. When your body gets to full rest, that's when rapid or random eye movement takes place, right? During that melatonin cycle. And that's also during the cellular respiration cycle. So this is where cells slow down, cell membranes slow down to allow permeation, i.e. allows toxins out and nutrients in, right? And mitochondria also slows down. So when mitochondria speeds back up, that's when cell membranes are at their most impervious, right? And this all happens as part of regeneration, right? So billions of cells are destroyed, billions of cells replenish those cells. Now, aging, aside from oxidation, is when cells that die are not replaced, fully replaced, or cells that are that die are replaced by less quality cells, right? So aging is an illness of not regenerating. So sleep is used to regenerate and rejuvenate. So as we get older, if we're aging, we tend to get less sleep, which will then end up being less quality in the cells. All right?
What's a fix for that? Or is there?
Go to sleep. Go to your bed. Nah, we have a supplement called Fountain, right? So as you age, the telomeres, which are the end of DNA strands, right? They shorten. So the longer your telomeres are, is the better quality cells you reproduce, right?
Okay.
And so we have a supplement called Fountain, which provides nutrients, certain for sirtuins. Sirtuins are what help to keep your skin and cells vibrant and whatnot. And so Fountain helps that, and it's when you are producing healthy cells, it's expressed or it's apparent by way of your integumentary system, which is your hair, nails, and skin, right? But hair, nails, and skin is also a good tell, a good display for what's going on internally, right? So a result of treating your internal cells, tissues, and organs good, a good result of that is healthy looking, vibrant, young looking skin.
Okay.
All right. But sleep is very important, and that's why we recommend Qigong, gathering yin and doing Qigong, so that it helps you into a deeper sleep. Because I know a lot of people are very light sleepers. You know, they wake up at the drop of a pin. And that means that the quality of sleep isn't that good. So, as you know, the sister of sleep is death or coma, right? So we're supposed to actually, when we go and get into a deep sleep, it's supposed to be akin to being comatose. So, as you know, when people are hurt really badly in accidents and such, they induce coma, so that person healing process, you know, their cells slow down and allow healing to take place, and regeneration.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Pamela. So we're going to stick to the Zoom. Laverne, Happy New Year, Laverne. How are you doing?
Happy New Year's to you too. How are you?
Happy New Year, Laverne.
We are doing great. It's cutting cold out here, but probably not as cold as where you are. So I guess we're doing a few.
Well, it's warm inside though.
Yeah, but
it is. It is cold outside, but it's warm inside. So yeah, I have a few. What happened to your screen?
Our screen, is it changed?
Yes, we're actually seeing the Zoom
Oh,
screen.
okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
we got our technical guy around here. He's having some fun, so you know.
Oh wow. Okay, so I have a question. I know like the 14-day fast that you gave us what we need to do, but like not doing a 14-day fast, but just doing a not one of your fasts, but a regular fast, right? Aren't there like certain fruits that in a fast that you shouldn't eat?
Well, I see. That's a very open-ended question. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. And if if you're eating a fruit, I mean, don't eat any bananas unless it's a Musa banana. Anyway, don't eat the Cavendish, the bananas without seeds. Don't do that. There are certain fruits, if you're anemic, that you shouldn't be eating, right? Which include blueberries and raspberries.
Okay. You
right?
shouldn't.
You shouldn't, no.
Okay.
If you're iron deficient and you're trying to get iron, there are fruits that will that inhibit iron absorption. So it depends.
Okay.
It depends, like to just say, yeah, don't eat no orange. You know, we don't like people eating oranges unless it's blood orange anyway and it's seeded. But
that's what I thought. That's why, because I had a question like that was asked of me, and I said citrus fruits, and I was thinking about orange, but I wasn't for sure, so I didn't want to say orange, but because I know I heard that before. So go ahead.
Yeah. So we don't recommend. There's two types of oranges that we actually do recommend, and it's blood oranges one, and mandarin oranges are the other type. And remember, we're still learning. We're still learning, discovering new fruits and all that kind of stuff. So when we if there might be another type of orange that's out there. I know in Africa their oranges are like green, which is the natural ones, and those are good.
Okay.
Okay. But make sure they're seeded. Don't eat the Jaffas. Don't do the seedless. Don't do seedless any fruit.
Okay. And what about the mulberry? The mulberry juice, you can use that on a fast, the pure mulberry juice.
Yes, mulberry juice is great. It's great for iron as well.
That's great for your iron. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because that I started using that because I learned that it's great. You guys said that it was great for iron. What about your bones also? Isn't that great for your bones too? Your bones, mulberry juice.
Oh, your bone. I thought that was a different type of fruit. You was like, your bones? Like, I want that. Yeah, I mean, your blood carries nutrients around your body. So anything that's good for for your blood is going to be good for other things. So mulberry, there are nutrients, there are flavonoids in that and polyphenols that are good for osteogenesis, bone development, and that, yes. So the reason why we love fruit so much is that they contain everything we need. We just, humans love meat because of a texture and, peer pressure and the seasoning that goes onto the meat. So it depends on if you're doing a liquid fast, then no fruits, no smoothies.
Yeah, that would just be pure like vegetable juice. Like, well, when I say vegetable, like kale and collard and like your greens that you.
Depends on, again. We don't like people to take anything that's going to cause the digestive system to have to go into work, put to work when they're doing a liquid fast, when they're doing a abstaining from food, right? So you have people who will be like, I haven't eaten anything, but I've had smoothies. But when they ingest a smoothie, this digestion still takes place.
Yeah.
Right. So when we do the liquid fast, it's about chlorophyll, your structured water, chlorophyll, and that, and spring water, coconut water, and then the supplements. And the supplements are taken sublingually so that it minimizes what your digestive tract has to do. Your intestines are worked a lot less.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you, Levan. Pleasure to have you back. Pleasure to be back, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
And Happy New Year, everybody. Is this the first Wednesday of the year?
We had this conversation. You were not here.
It's today's day. It's the 5th.
It's the 5th. It's our first Wednesday because the last call we didn't have the Friday because it was a New Year's Eve. So listen, I'm going to jump back to the IG real quick before we get to you, Levan. Alita, I think maybe.
Alicia W.
Okay, wait, not there yet. Hold on.
I know. But show yourself, Alicia. If I think you are who I think you are, I'd like to see your face.
My name is Alicia Miller.
Oh, so your W's upside down.
Oh
no, there's another Alicia.
Okay.
There's two Alicias on this call at the moment. There's an Alicia W. So
Brethren.
Oh, it's Alita.
Brethren.
All right.
Let me do this bit. Yeah. Hold on. But you see what? Now, this is good because we did have some questions. And it's funny. We don't typically have so many questions in the IG because we're not focusing on the IG because we want everyone to either join the Zoom or the YouTube channel. But stranger today, I guess it's a New Year's thing, or I don't know, it's the M1 chip. We got a bunch of questions in the IG. And we did have a question from Dorcas Elahor, and she's still on. She's asking, do we have a treatment for hypothyroidism? Hyper. Hyper.
As in Graves' disease.
Thyroidism.
Yes, we do. We have a supplement that's called hyperthyroid, and it's great. And what you do is we have two supplements, right? We have Venus and we have hyperthyroid. So you take those two together to help to alleviate, to balance your hormones, and to also deal with those thyroid stimulating immunoglobulins that are causing the problem of hyperthyroidism. All right. So if you go to Great Black Detox, or I mean, we'll put the link into the chat. Oh, we can't put the link into the chat if they're on IG.
We can put the
go to greatblackdetox.com/product/hyperthyroid, and that's going to be hard to remember. Just put in hyperthyroidism. Use the My Conditions tool. We have a My Conditions tool that you can utilize.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing, guys. For those of you in the IG, I guess I'll wait for a response in the IG, but you can't interact. See, Dr. Hampson answered the question. We're over here. We've got people on the Zoom hanging around, but we can't interact with you. So if you really want to interact, you've got to join the Zoom. so we can hear your responses to that. I think let me try and get one more. Now, this could be a long one. So, you know what we'll do? The IG guys are waiting. We're going to prioritize the Zoom for now. So, Alita W, who had a hand raised for a little while. Alita, how you doing? Are we saying your name right? I'm saying Alita. He's saying Alicia.
No, it's Alita.
It's Alita.
Alita. All right. Alita. You know,
Good evening.
Evelyn.
I just walked through the door. So my question is, I would like to start the 14-day detox. However, I'm a little hesitant now because of how rapid the virus is, and I work in a school, so I'm exposed to a lot of children. So I want to know, I shouldn't say however, because I do want to start the 14-day.
Okay.
What can I do to keep my immune system up?
Okay.
And
so
while I'm doing the detox.
So your immune system is actually going to be even more on fire when you're doing if you're doing the 14, right? Because your red blood cells are going to be up. You're going to have more serum nitric oxide, right? So the way how nutrients are carried around your body is going to be a lot more efficient. But we do have a Great Black Virus detox to optimize your immune system. So you have a choice. You can now. What are you trying to achieve?
She doesn't want the kids to kill her, Dr. MC.
No, I want to clean out my system.
Okay.
Because I'm starting to get the little pooch. Not cute. So I'm starting to get the pooch. So I want to clean out my system and weight loss. So eventually get down to weight loss.
So here's what I'll suggest that you do, right? So get the 14 and also get D3. We have a supplement called D3, right? So while you're doing your fast, D3. Now this is fast becoming unanimous, right, among scientists and epidemiologists and virologists and immunologists and everybody else, right? That D3, vitamin D3, is essential. It's imperative to keep your immune system at its highest, right? So there is no such thing as cold and flu season, really, right? There's no season where colds and flus come around. They're here all the time. What it is, when we get enough UVB and synthesize that into vitamin D3 or into the hormone D3, it is involved in over 2,000 immunoprocesses, right? So our bodies are at their most, our immune system is at its most potent, at its most vibrant, right? When we are getting good sun. Now, where do you live, Alita?
In Maryland.
All right, so you don't have any UVB right now. There's zero UVB coming from the sun. It's all UVA, and UVA is what causes aging, right? And oxidative stress, right? UVB is not going to be back in Maryland probably until like April.
Okay.
Right? So you need D3. And we stress this probably on every one of these clinics that we have. We speak about the real pandemic in the world is vitamin D deficiency. And black women are the most affected by D deficiency. Right? Black people in general are the most, but black women need more exposure to sun, and they're the most vitamin D deficient. and because of that deficiency, it now opens you up to different conditions. It opens you up to thyroid issues, and then obesity, and then fibroids and cysts and all that stuff, because your immuno processes are not working at par, not even at where they're supposed to be, at a balance. It's below par. Right? So do the 14 and get D3 as well. And when you finish doing the detox, you continue taking the supplements. All the way through winter, you're going to need D3. All the way through.
Okay. Do you have D3 or just any D3?
We have a supplement called D3. So we'll put the link, which is basically greatblackdetox.com/D3.
Okay.
All right.
So this is kind of the same but separate. So my girlfriend's pushing me to ask. She's making fun of me. So I live with coffee. Like, if you know me, you know I drink coffee. So I know the answer to this, but she's saying, do I have to give up coffee for the detox? So I know the answer.
Is it Blue? Do you drink Blue Mountain coffee?
I don't drink Blue Mountain coffee. No, I'm not
Then
that.
dash whatever you have. Whatever you have, dash.
But that is the best coffee.
No,
It's
you
the best
especially have
coffee.
to give up the Jamaican coffee. It's not even coffee.
So coffee is high in, as you know, coffee is high in caffeine, right?
Yeah.
And another thing, and this is the thing, when you drink coffee, it means that
Touch it.
your natural caffeine-like substances in your body that keep you alert, they atrophy, right? Meaning you become more and more conditioned that you need to take in this substance. So a lot of people are, you see commercials on TV and even in movies, people are half dead, then they have their coffee and then they spring to life, right?
Yes.
And which is what has
In
made
the morning.
energy drinks and the 5-hour energy and all these things so popular, is because the whole world was hooked on caffeine, on coffee. You know, and then you have some people don't like the taste of coffee. And even in black tea, there's a level of caffeine as well, and in green tea. So, and that caffeine that's in teas and in coffee and that will contribute to things like gout, increases uric acid. So, you
Coffee
know,
is also,
coffee is, go ahead, Mikey.
No, just the whole coffee thing, because it's something that has been ingrained within the society as being not only something you do first thing in the morning, it's become a part of our culture, especially in the West. Now, in parts of the other parts of the world, the East and in Africa, coffee is used specifically for a reason, certain times a day for carrying out certain tasks, not so much either recreationally or as an actual drug. But coffee has also been attributed to higher rates of anxiety because, coffee keeps you alert. And it's that alertness that people just can't relax. So they're constantly thinking. And you're constantly, people tend to generally go to negative thoughts. They're worrying about the light bill, the phone bill, their lover, and it releases hormones. So excess use of coffee causes more anxiety, causes more stress hormones. Guess what that does? That exacerbates all the other ailments you have, including inflammatory diseases, cysts, and so on, right? It increases high blood pressure. Okay. It causes digestive problems. It's funny. Real talk. When I was young, if I woke up in the morning, I was feeling a bit constipated. You know what I do? Drink a bit of coffee. Like two sips.
Same here.
2 sips. And I
Soften you right out.
I pour the rest away in the sink. And it has that effect. It's also a diuretic. And if you're on a water fast and you're taking a diuretic, you're likely to pull water out of your system where it should be nourishing your system. You're not pulling it out.
Right.
Okay, so there are a lot of reasons why coffee should be removed from your diet, especially when you're doing a detox.
And here's the most important thing now. So caffeine is high in nitrogen. Your body tries to remove nitrogen all the time. So your liver recognizes coffee and caffeine, right? Caffeine as a toxin. So constantly drinking coffee, it puts your liver to work to try to filter out this toxin out of the body, where your liver will now focus its attention on that rather than other tasks it has to do, right? So the liver becomes sluggish. When the liver becomes sluggish, you now have a whole load of problems, because your liver is like your master organ for not only filtering out toxins, but to also for metabolism. So just a few seconds ago, we were talking about D3, right? So your liver and your kidneys are responsible for synthesizing D3 from the nutrients that it gets from food or what it gets from UVB, from the sun, right? Your liver and your kidneys metabolize this hormone. Your liver's also responsible for synthesizing and distributing other hormones in the body, other sex hormones, also cholesterol, you know, whether it's HDL or LDL, right? Forms of cholesterol. Cholesterol is what your brain swims in. Cholesterol is what's used to create hormones. Hormones are created, sex hormones, steroidal hormones, right? You hear the word sterile in cholesterol, right? It's a steroid. It's the beginning. It's the root of all steroidal hormones in the body. So when you're not producing it properly, it becomes a problem for producing hormones, right? And maintaining balance in your body. So by you engaging in your coffee addiction,
Love. Addiction is a strong word.
Well, you said, well, if you know me, you know I drink coffee.
It probably is an addiction. You know, it's probably the biggest addiction in the world right now, because it's been so well marketed,
right?
Government regulated. Remember, taxpayer money is used to import this stuff, to subsidize it, for land to grow it. And you got to ask yourself, whenever something is this widely used, and let's go through all the things that are this widely used and promoted, right, as part of our culture. Coffee, sugar, milk, meat, medications.
Yeah.
You see? And so it's part of that cipher to keep you dependent, to keep you addicted. It's an absolute addiction. We spend more money on coffee than we do on education.
Yeah.
You know, then a lot of people, in fact, than we do on even gas, petrol. Think about it. People are spending between $5 and $12 on a coffee every single day, right? Because it's got froth on it or whatever. I don't need to tell you guys, I don't know where you buy your coffee, but people are willing to spend a lot of money on coffee. It's absolutely an addiction.
And you got people saying boycott Starbucks because they treated some black people bad. It's like, boycott them anyway. Boycott them anyway, because they're sending you to an early grave.
Yeah.
And plus they don't sell Blue Mountain coffee either, you know. So
they don't.
Now coffee, now don't get us wrong now. Coffee does have medicinal properties for specific uses, short-term specific uses,
as I was saying,
right? So, you know, there's this saying that everything is a poison, but then everything may be a medicine too. But I think you've gone past the threshold of the medicinal use.
Yeah, yeah. We need an intervention. We're going to come around to your house with
take away
our detox
my
group.
Keurig.
Yeah, our Wednesday evening detox group and pray for you, Alita.
Thank you. Prayers are always needed. My very last question, and this is very, very concerning for me. Anytime, like I know when I'm not eating properly.
Wait, Alita, can you show us? We want to see your face. Can we see your face, please?
I'm just getting home from work.
That's cool. Right, there you go.
Wait, I'm not looking. Jazzy. I've been with kids all day.
You know, she just stashed the coffee before she hit the mix. Like,
and the biscuits and the cookies. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you can see it. Wait, let me turn. Yes, I'm in the kitchen.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You just stashed the coffee.
Yeah.
Move this way. Okay, there. See, you see my plants there.
Okay.
So, very last question. I commute to work, so about 45. It can be from 45 one way to an hour. And sometimes I get tired and not fall asleep, but but the head
drowsy,
starts
right,
to drop.
right. You're nodding.
Yes.
Right.
So that's another thing that I'm worried about in regards to the detox.
All right. So here's no. So here's the good thing. When you're detoxing, your cognitive abilities go through the roof, right? So a lot of people, when they're doing the 14 detox and they haven't eaten anything, they wake up before their alarm clock. Brain fog becomes non-existent, right? So the fasting is actually going to make you more alert. This is why it's so important. So when you do this detox, don't go back to coffee, and don't eat in the mornings either, right? Never eat in the mornings.
Okay.
Now, do you eat in the mornings now? Do you have like
coffee?
Oh, just coffee.
For breakfast.
All right. At least you're not doing the cow's milk, or you're not doing that bacon and eggs, or the turkey sausage.
No, coffee.
What do they call them
it's
sausages
serious.
again? The breakfast sausages.
The Lynx turkey
Lynx,
sausages.
there you go. At least you're not doing that stuff.
No, I gave up corn a long time ago. Pescatarian, which I heard on one of your chats is not good either, but we're getting there.
Yeah, you'll get there, and then, but your cognitive alertness is gonna be through the roof.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time. I didn't want to take up so much time, but thank you.
Welcome,
you answered
Alita.
my question. Thank you.
Pleasure having you on, Alita. Thanks for joining. Make sure you come back. And make sure you give us 5 stars in the review. I think we don't even have one. Janita JTB. We're glad that you're still here with us after having that nightmare vaccine.
Yes, you remember. Let me change my background. Janice. How are you guys doing? Hello. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to you.
So I have to say your 14-day detox really, really worked. That whole thing about your memory came back is so true. Waking up before the alarm, just ready to clean and do all the energy is beyond ridiculous. So I felt so good. And didn't miss eating, and my blood pressure was normal, so that all worked. So I do have some additional questions.
Okay.
Continue. So I noticed that I still have extra product left. Should I still be taking the extra product? Because I remember one time you indicated that you should try to use it within the first 4 months because the efficacy of it will diminish over time. So what do I do with that? Because I'm being told you should wait quarterly to do the detox again. Okay. So that's my first question. What to do with the extra product?
All right. So how did you feel when you were doing the detox?
Excellent. Wonderful.
And all right. So the reason why you felt that good was because you were getting nutrients your body actually needs, right?
Right.
Your body needs those nutrients. So why stop when they're good for you? So and this goes out to everybody. When you finish with the fast, continue with the detox. So the detox, the fasting part is part of your detox. Your detox actually continues. While your detox is continuing, always take the supplements. So those supplements that you get in the Detox 14 are actually, staple. They are staple. So you can continue taking those year through. So if you don't have an ailment, these are the supplements that you take, and it gives your body all the nutrients it needs, all the resources for your body to work optimally, right?
So continue to take it as if together.
Yes. Okay. Yes, take them together. continue with the Cloringa. Keep with your coconut water and your structured water, and minimize the amount of toxins that you know if you are eating. So the reason why we have life after detox is we don't want anybody going back to their bad habits, right? We don't want you to, I lost a good weight, I'm feeling strong, energized and whatever. Then after 3 months, you're slumped again and whatnot. And then it's like, yeah, I've got to do we don't want it to be up and down. We don't want to be peaking and troughing. We want you to reach to a level and plateau. Okay. And the way how you do that is to continue with the nutrient therapy, because the food that we eat, the standard American diet, right, that we have does not provide us with the resources, the nutrient resources that we need. So we walk around malnourished. We all suffer with malnutrition, right? So when you take in the supplements, that is no longer the case. And we feel great for it.
Okay, that's good to know. I also bought additional supplements like the lipo and the digest. So I can take those in addition to the ones from the, So there's no complications of mixing all of the supplements together.
They are all harmonious.
Oh, okay. Just writing my notes down.
So, Janice, why are you writing the notes? How are you feeling now? Are you feeling better? I don't know. Has your situation improved? Have you gone back? What have they told you?
Absolutely.
Did you laugh in their faces when you went back after doing the detox and sort of bouncing around the doctor's office?
No, I'm not going backwards because I have to see a cardiologist in a couple of weeks anyway, so they can run the test again and do an echo again and see. I have not taken back the BP pill because I've been monitoring my blood pressure and it's stabilized and normal. So I'm hoping that when I go back, all is well. And then I'll let them know I haven't been on the meds, and hopefully they can take it off because they're only 5 milligrams anyway. They're pretty light. So that's the goal. I lost 16.8 pounds. So I'm very grateful for that. My husband was getting a little jealous and was like, what are you taking?
He needs to do his. He don't get jealous. Don't let him take your stuff.
No. His belly run him. No, don't. He's an oxtail, curry goat. He's a meat man. So there is no way.
we're gonna get him. We're gonna team up on him.
I tell him all the time to try it, but he saw a major difference too, and he's like, whatever you're doing, continue to do it. Yeah. So those were my questions, and I thank you guys so much for everything. I do believe in this medicine versus the other medicine. I know it. And so thank you.
Medicine versus medication.
Yeah.
Yes.
Medicine wins every time.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, Janice.
Miss
JTB.
Thank you.
Glad
and you know what, we were talking about when we were younger, right?
Way back.
We were younger, right?
Yesterday,
and we was at raves. We grew up in London, and the African and West Indian communities, we like to party on weekends, go to house parties and such, right? Ain't found a decent house party in Atlanta.
They don't really do it here. I've been to a couple, but it's not really,
So lights off. We might have a little light from the sound system, but during the night, you're drinking alcohol during the night. You might have a spliff or whatever, but then at around 2 a.m, here come the curry goat and rice.
Yeah.
Curry goat and rice at 2
and the patties, that family in London.
And patties, right? So patty usually is like when you get there, it's like little snack. But at 2 a.m, everything, the cook and curry everything mutton, start getting dished out. Peas, so the curry goat and rice, which rice starch, the curry goat, red meat, swimming in gravy, right? And then more alcohol. So it's like the combination is like it's some heart attack thing, proper, high blood pressure.
But you dance it off, remember?
Right, but because we're young, metabolism burns it all up. So you're going to sleep. But, any kind of cold or flus or anything like that, a lot of people would have run belly. Their belly would run or whatever. But thinking about it now, that at that time of the morning where the digestive system is like, I'm done. and you're gonna start putting in curry goat and starch.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yes.
So tell your husband, but all right, don't say we didn't warn you about the oxtail.
All right.
And, talking about husbands. So, all right, we're going to come to Laverne after Deshaun because Deshaun's been waiting. I got a couple in the IG. But Janice, thanks for joining again. Really appreciate having you back. Deshaun, I see you patiently when you got your mute button on.
Hello, how you doing?
We are doing great.
Hey,
Deshaun.
what's up,
How you
Sean?
So, a question about like with the low iron and everything. I have access to get a cacao pod here in Florida. Am I able to make my own chocolate, even though I know you guys say not to snack?
So, two things there. You getting cacao pod from where?
There's a place down here. It's in Miami, but they have to ship it to me. Like, even though I'm an hour from it, they would ship it. So it's a cacao pod.
Yeah.
So I was asking about like if I could eat the actual pod, how bitter is it compared to roasting it and making the chocolate?
Well, you're the expert on the
Well,
from
I was about
Ghana,
to,
you know.
Well, no, it's not even that. I was gonna say, well, the honest answer is I don't know. I've never done it in that method.
Okay.
But if you can get a cacao pod, then process it any which way. You see, there's nothing wrong with cacao, right? It's a beautiful thing, especially when it's high.
Helps with periods as well.
Exactly. I think it's polyphenols they have in cacao, but it's at that pure, and there's no milk, there's no sugar. You've not
Contaminated it.
right. It's the best thing you can have. It's very similar to shea. It's very similar to cocoa, right? And so if I had that, I would process that and put it in the fridge and use it for as long as possible. Now I don't know how much you're going to get from one pod. I don't know how much. Do you know how much you're sending it? Exactly?
Well, the pod is $47, but they give you a small box, which would be $77. So I don't know how many pods would be in that box, that small box. Because I've seen them at like the Vegan Fest before, but I never asked them about it because like I started doing more research into it because I was like, well, they're only like an hour away. Maybe I can go get it, but they don't let customers come to the warehouse.
So to answer, I think the question you're actually asking about is whether or not you can eat it. You can absolutely eat it. You can use it. You can heat it and get the oil, and you're going to have your cocoa butter. There are so many wonderful things you can do with it, right? In terms of snacking is snacking. It doesn't matter what you're snacking on. If you're eating between meals and causing metabolism and causing your digestive system to act and releasing enzymes, unless you're eating the right food and exercising with it, you're still snacking. But there's nothing to stop you from adding some cacao to your meals, to your smoothies.
Food.
When you have your... You're not doing the detox. You're not doing the 14-day, are you? Are you on an intermittent fast?
No, I'm just on a regular.
Right,
just
so...
regular eating.
Yeah. Now, we don't eat chocolate because we just tend not to eat chocolate here at the office. Most of the chocolate you get around here is milk chocolate. But I did bring some chocolate from Ghana. The guys were eating it. We've chucked half of it away. I brought so much back last time I went. There's nothing wrong with high cacao chocolate. It's actually good for you. It's good for mood, anxiety. I think you just said that, right? So, yeah, it's not a bad thing at all.
Okay. Because, like, since I've done a detox and everything, because I used to, like, crave, like, chocolate and stuff before my period. And I don't crave it, but I know that, like, it benefits certain things to help me.
Right.
With,
what
iron
kind of chocolate were you eating before?
like that.
Was it Hershey's or was it, like, real... Was it?
No, I would buy
Cadbury's
like the Lentz or whatever it's called.
The high cacao, the thin packet one, the thin packets. Yeah. I used to, Yeah, those are high cacao. Like, those are really. I mean, the price tells you, they're fairly good quality. And there's a couple that have very few ingredients. If you read the back of them, but you can get organically fair trade, grown chocolate from 7-Up. I don't know if you're in Atlanta or not. You can get really good chocolate from a lot of places. One thing about chocolate is so abundant. It's not really, put it this way, you can avoid the milk chocolate Hershey, Walmart's own version. You can avoid that stuff easily. I don't buy anything from a gas station. Straight away you should know.
No, the only thing to buy from a gas station is gas. Nothing else.
You may see me there once in a while. But anyway, the point I'm making is in Kroger, Publix, they have an aisle and they have some really, really good chocolate. Whole Foods has a whole range of quite expensive cacao, above 60% cacao is really the best. Okay. Yeah.
But it's the other ingredients that you have to look out for. It's like, you know, you have a salad and then you get salad dressing and the poison's in the dressing.
All the gums in the...
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know...
Sunflower oil, canola oil.
Right. And the good thing is that your craving's gone. So, you know, again, the snacking piece, it depends on what you're trying to achieve, where you're at, you know. So somebody that's trying to keep fat off their body and that, stop the snacking. Okay. Somebody who has issues with you know, acid reflux, right? Stop the snacking. But if there are some people who find it hard to maintain weight. So with those people, it's like, all right, you should eat. You can eat between meals because you have to increase your you know, your caloric intake because your metabolism may be too high.
Okay.
You know, maybe too high. So your output is way higher than your input. You know?
Yeah, I just figured that like that would help. Like I ate the pumpkin seeds or whatever, you know, to help my iron like throughout the day.
Right.
And then so like that's why I was asking about the cacao and like make it with like almond milk or something like that and make like a chocolate bar, you know? So because I was watching something like they ferment it for like 7 days and then they roast it. So that's what I was questioning. Is it, you know, to eat it straight, is the strength stronger, like eating it out of the pod, or is it like to roast it, or there's really no difference? So that's what I was wondering too.
Right. No, there's definitely going to be a difference, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not an expert on the different processes, so you might just want to look that up. But I know cacao is something that's good in many forms. As long as it isn't burnt and denatured, and you don't create some carcinogenic from it, then it's fine.
Yeah, because it said to like roast it at a certain temperature or whatever. Just I guess however, and I guess that's how they come up with the nibs or something, or whatever they call it.
Right.
Now, Shakti is saying here on the IG, best time for cacao cuppa is at sunrise with meditation. So some advice there. Dr. Keeler saying, remember, it is quite bitter. And you were saying that you're going to maybe mix it with some almond milk. You can also sweeten it with some dates. And you can even use coconut sugar, the good stuff, the dark stuff. Again, you know, when you start on this journey, right, of real food, electric foods, you start to find things that blend together, right? You start to find natural organic sweeteners that are good for you, right? You start to find alternatives for meat and all the things, alternatives for rice and all the starches, and then go experiment. You know, if you have good ingredients in front of you, there's no combination of those good ingredients that's going to make something bad, right? And that's basically the, you know, sort of the high level behind the paradigm. If you remove all the toxic ingredients, whatever you make is going to be good for you. Now, whether or not you should eat it at any single time of the day, I mean, you know the answer to some of that. Avoiding snacking is avoiding snacking. Avoiding breakfast is avoiding breakfast. Whether it's, I've got a ton of great food at home, I don't eat breakfast. The fact that I can, you know, grab something, you know, organic doesn't mean I circumvent, you know, my intermittent fast. I don't eat breakfast. When I do eat, I can eat all of the organic electric foods. And guess what? I can have a piece of my organic cacao. I feel great. You know, I can make a dessert from it. You know, you can make a cacao drink with almond milk and make it froth and sprinkle some cacao on top of it. You can do your own Starbucks latte if you want. As long as the ingredients are electric, you're fine.
Right. This is where you use YouTube. YouTube will have should have a whole bunch of, you know, just use your, you know, your discernment to know who's talking sense and who isn't.
There you go. Shakti saying you can add orange peel, cinnamon, and nutmeg.
Oh, okay.
And to sweeten it. It makes it yummy, of course, apparently, to Shakti. So thanks, Shakti, on IG for sharing that.
All right.
So, yeah. Deshaun, any more questions?
Thank you. No, that's it. Just something simple. I'm just waiting on my aunt to get on here eventually because she said I'm a testimony, and she was like, oh, I'll try to get on and listen. So, because she's at work actually. So she's like, I need to lose this weight. She says, you look great and everything. And they keep telling me at work that I'm melting away. I said, it's just that I'm changing and I had to transition in some new clothes. So they're starting to see a really big difference. It's like, people are like, what are you doing? You know? So it's like I tell people, I try to get people into these, these Zoom calls, like, hey, you ready to change? This is where you need to be Wednesdays. So I just, they look at me and they're like, you look great. Some people say, you're melting away. Just stop. But I feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling you guys a couple months ago that like my periods like are so much lighter. I feel so much better because I have endometriosis. So it's like a big difference. And like the pain's not there. It's, the periods are lighter. Like it feels like it doesn't last as long as it used to. I guess maybe because I had the cramping before the period and then have the pain after the period. So it's like it's a big difference. I feel good. I don't feel miserable. You know what I'm saying, when I'm on my period. So what I'm doing is that like I feel proud of myself, but it's a struggle because you're still trying different foods to eat and which you can and which you can't eat, especially, having endometriosis and watching high estrogenic foods that I can't eat.
Right.
So that's the struggle because I like mushrooms and I can't have mushrooms, because of the fungus. So it's, there's things that I wish I could still eat, with just the transition into to plant-based and vegan.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's not easy. And
No.
Laverne and Tanika, I've got you guys next. Sorry, carry on, Deshaun, because I just want to segue into another question, but carry on. Deshaun.
No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Deshaun,
I'm done.
let me ask you.
Just letting you thank you for everything.
Let me ask you this, Deshaun. Have you got EndoRx?
Yes, I do. I do take that because
Okay.
the last time I think I had asked a question about that, and you said that would help with like a little bit of pain, and it took away the minor pains too, and feeling better with it.
All right, excellent. Just wanted to make sure.
Excellent.
Yes,
So,
they
Deshaun,
probably think something's wrong with me with all these bottles.
but you said it yourself. They're seeing the change in you. They're seeing you bouncing around. The weight falling off. Your attitudes changing. I guess you're smiling. You're having a great time. You're enjoying your transition. They're getting jealous. But guess what? People are resistant to change. Rather than jumping on your bust, they're going to watch you from afar. They're going to wait till they're stage 5. Then they're going to come knocking at your door 2:00 in the morning, right? And people are like that. What's the old expression? You can lead a horse to water, right? But you can't make it drink. So look, out of the millions of people in the world, there are how many people on this Zoom call right now? It is what it is, man. Look, you guys help yourselves. You guys improve yourselves, and then you guys will spread the message. So, and on that point, so there was a message came in on the IG, kind of a question from Jay Butterfly, I think. So they're asking, what constitutes, Dr. Amsu, electric? What makes some foods electric and some foods maybe organic but not necessarily electric, or
Well, any foods that are not denatured, are not GMO, are not seedless, that deliver nutrients to you to help invigorate you, that promote life and energy, those are electric foods. So we don't call any form of processed food electric. Electric foods are, whole foods, plant, fruits, seeds, nuts. That's what we call electric foods. That's electric food. So all our, the reason why our company is called Electric Food, the herbal supplement company, is because we make sure that we source our ingredients from, they're either wild or wild harvested, or they're organic. So and they come from real food. They're not from, we don't do extracts. So even if we get something in a dried form, it's a dried form of that food. It's not extracted. It's basically like if you buy dates and they've been dehydrated, the water's been removed, but you still have the substance. Things that are ground, they're dried and ground. So it might be in a powder form, but it's the actual substance is still there. We buy twigs, we buy leaves, we buy seeds, and you know, that's what goes into our supplements. So when you're eating electric food itself, so we have electric PHOOD, but electric FOOD, that's any, as I described, anything that is not denatured or processed, not GMO, that is not grown with fertilizers or pesticides, and it's natural whole foods, seeded.
Indeed. So Jay Butterfly, hope that answers your question. We can go on, trust me, ad nauseum about electric foods and what's salubrious to the body. So thanks for that. And thanks to Sean for your questions. Moving over to Laverne. And hey, listen, guys, real quick. So I think most of you know, if you do have a question, raise your hand in the chat. Let us know in the chat. Raise your hand in the app, or you can just let us know in the IG. Or if you're on the the YouTube, we've got so many apps going on now. If you're on the YouTube, you can let us know in the chat as well, and we'll try and get to you before the end of the session, which is 7 o'clock. So don't be asking questions at 6:58. All right, Laverne.
Too late. Ruth Sin.
Ruth Sin. Oh, here we go. 6:59 and 59 seconds. How you doing?
Hey, I heard is that Deshawn said that she has, the people want to know what she's doing with all these bottles. My son's like, Mom, how much of those you have? And I take them to church with me too, because I'd be like, you know, I have to take them at a certain time, you know.
Right.
And yeah, so, but anyways, I'll be dropping them in my mouth. I'm in church, I'm dropping them. But anyways, it do work. And I know what some of the things she's talking about. Myself, I said it, I total different experience with my cycle and everything, total different mood and pain, all that gone. And I'm like, I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I'm older, but I still don't want the discomfort, but it do work. So I have a question. Now, I have a brother. When I say brother, is, you know, brother, a Christian in Christ. He's now back in the hospital. I was just told today by another sister to, you know, keep him in prayer. He had COVID. He was in the hospital, breathing issue. He has other medical conditions too, and he's back in there. What do you have that I can actually, I think at this point now he is going to go through a full conversion. And I must say that he went through, years ago, he went through a whole shift in his diet, and where he lost a lot of weight, and he was on the right track, and then he just went back. And now with this whole pandemic and all that, you know, it was really touching when I heard that he was, you know, he had COVID, and he was in hospital, he was on the breathing, he was on a ventilator, came out, and now he's back in again. He have a breathing issue. And what do you guys have that I can probably talk to him about, and he can take for that breathing situation? I know I heard that there's like scarring of the lung or something like that can occur when, you know, people have that issue with breathing with COVID. What do you guys have? What do you recommend?
I mean, we have the our Great Black Virus Detox, right? But if you already have COVID, the disease, right? Mm-hmm. Then we do have in there in deep vein. Deep vein helps with scar tissue. Breathe helps with the respiratory system. So with lungs, diaphragm, and the alveoli, and all, you know, the whole, everything about the breathing, you know, your respiratory system. But does he have things like high blood pressure and obesity? Obesity,
that I know, and diabetes.
Right. So
yeah, it's a sad situation because he lost his mother to it. He had then a mother he lost his mother, and I just think also that it has probably grieving too, because she died, and he's still here, but he's back at her. He's back in the hospital.
Right. So one of the reason why we even started the Great Black Detox was when, for years we've been speaking to Black people about dieting and fasting, detoxing, right? Not even so much dieting, right? But we were trying to put, when I was younger, you'd hear diet, I used to think about models that, they just want to stay skinny, and they might eat a twig every now and again, right? So you're on a diet, but being on a dietary plan is a diet, and obesity is the world killer, right? We cannot stress it enough. 80% of people who are dying and getting sick from COVID are obese, right? So all the numbers that we're hearing of this amount of people have died, this amount of people are hospitalized and that, 80% upwards are obese people. So while so many people are obese, we're being, you got the unvaccinated versus the vaccinated. It's really
the big division.
It's really
confusion.
Obese versus non-obese, because the non-obese are being because of the events, what happens to somebody when they're obese, getting sick, it become mandatory for non-obese people to be following protocols due to what the effect on obese people. Now, obesity also is an inhibitor of vitamin D utilization, right? So because it's fat soluble, it's soaked up in fat. So a lot of immune processes are not executed due to fat taking it up, absorbing it all, right? So this is the reason why we have these detoxifications where people are abstain from eating, and people who are obese, overweight and obese, they have storage of food. They can go a month or two without eating because they have reserves, they have energy, they have life stored up in them, right? So there was that white guy that was on some talk show, and he was calling everybody out. You fat this, you fat that. Come on, fatty, get in there, lose the weight. All this, and people call me a fat shamer, body shamer. This guy was actually pointing at the camera. He was on some talk show, and he was iterating what we have been saying for years. Look, if you are overweight and you have or obese, you have energy stored up in you that you don't need to eat anything. You don't need to eat anything. You can go without food for a long period of time, right? But you need the correct nutrients though, right? So that's why on our detoxes, us as a herbal supplement company, here's what your body actually needs. You need efficiency. You need nutrients that your body's going to utilize, and all the energy that your body needs is stored up in that fat. So it's a shame that he's been hospitalized again. You're saying like this is like the second time, and this is the discipline that comes where, and black men are the worst. We're the worst because we'll do something when it's falling off. It's hanging off. It's hanging by a string. All right, I'm going to do something about it. And then soon as we're half better, not even totally better, we think, all right, I'm going to stop doing what was making me better. I'm going to stop. I'm going to go back. I'm going to, let me smoke a cigarette. Let me have that drink. I have family members who suffer with gout and that, and it's like, don't drink no alcohol, no coffee, nothing with high content of nitrogen in it. Stop it. And then they stop, and then it goes, the pain goes and the inflammation comes down. Guess what they go and do? Back to the bottle. Or the day after the pain stops. Man, I had a good day yesterday. I had no pain.
We all remember that. I'll never drink again. I
never
swear to God, let me get through this night.
Why? It's like, all right, I went a day without pain. Let me have a drink to celebrate. You see what I'm saying? It's black men are the most difficult, stubborn people on the planet.
And I'll tell you something else, Dr. Amsu, something that's really difficult, very simple to get your head around, but very difficult to put in action, is when we decide to get better, when we decide to detox, when we decide to fast, even go and see the doctor, we do it when we're sick, where in actual fact, you're supposed to keep yourself healthy when you're feeling well. Because when you're feeling well is the optimum time for your body to absorb and do anything, not when you're sick. Because when you're sick, your body's dealing with that.
Yeah.
And then you're scrambling to try and get healthy food, and I need to go and squeeze these oranges and get vitamin C. You're supposed to be doing that when you're well to prevent the sickness from coming. So it's really a deep discipline issue that all of us face. We're not picking on anyone or people who are obese. It's a discipline thing that human beings suffer. The thing is, people that have a disposition to obesity have to be extra careful, and that's just it's just the way the cookie crumbled for some of us. Some of us are 7 foot tall, some of us are 5 foot tall. It is what it is. You can't complain about being 5 foot tall because you're never going to be 7 foot tall ever. Deal with it. Is that harsh? Go ahead, Laverne.
I have another question from my little nephews. Do you guys have anything for children like cold? Because my little nephews, they start school and then they start constantly getting like cold. They get over it and they go to school, they come back. D3 for them. D3. So here my question is for them. You have to hold it in your mouth, right? How are you going to get them to hold it?
No, but even if they don't hold it under their tongue and it doesn't absorb into their, just give them the D3. Even if they swallow it, it's still going to get into their bloodstream either way.
Okay.
We just want efficiency. Great. As adults, we want the efficient route to things, right? So it's under the tongue, straight into the bloodstream, because we've contaminated ourselves, and the way our digestive systems work, we might be, there might be enzymes and acids and that which may corrupt stuff. But with children, even if they just swallow it, it's still getting into their system, and they'll be good because they're not holding it under their tongue. They're not gonna do it. And D3 tastes really nice as well. D3 is our nicest tasting supplement, so they'll love it.
I mean, all of your supplements I take, they don't taste bad at all. And I was explaining to someone the reason why we hold it under our tongues is for the saliva, if I'm right, to mix with it, the enzymes, or if I'm correct, I don't know. But anyways.
No.
I know that's my theory.
No. Under your tongue, there are ducts where it absorbs into your bloodstream. So it's to get into your bloodstream. Even though it does make your mouth start filling with saliva, no, there are glands where it goes straight into your bloodstream from under your tongue.
Okay, so that's one last quick question, but yes, because I know you could get off here at 7. For hip and problem, like pain in the hip or whatever, would that be the OsteoRx?
Osteo, but also joint RX.
Joint RX,
because it's usually in the hip joint where people have problems. Right. So joint RX and osteo.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. You're welcome.
Thank you, Laverne. Now, I did have an Andrea, Andriy. Is she still on the call? I think, or she there?
That was me. I changed my name.
Oh, was that? So I had Tanika. You see how you guys do us?
Wait. Is that your phone? I use it. You teeth somebody's phone, Tamika.
It's my phone. That's my middle name.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. So Tanika, Andrea.
I took it. It's my phone.
Right. Tax. So Tanika, Andrea, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing great. We're not in such a dimly lit room, but I guess.
Wait, what's your last name, Tamika?
You got a vibe going on.
Mason.
Tam. So Tam. All right. TAM. All right.
Yep.
What can we do you for, Tamika?
I wanted to ask, so with that virus detox, can kids do that? Like my daughter had an exposure to COVID. Absolutely. Okay. What about babies too? So if a baby is like diagnosed with COVID, we could give them that.
Yes. I mean, look, this is all food. As long as, if that, all right, when babies can't, anything that is foreign to a baby that it's not supposed to be there, the baby's going to throw it up. But this is nutrient. These are foods. So they're not toxic.
Okay.
So,
well, that's helpful. Because I have just been doing the D3 for the girls. But with that, I'll add that in the rotation because I actually have the virus detox. I was doing it for myself just because I didn't have an exposure. I thought it'd just be good to do it.
Right.
As preventative.
And especially with Omicron, everyone's gonna get it.
Did you just say Omicron?
Yeah.
Yeah. Omicron.
Hey, there's Florona now.
Yeah, there's a new one now. Can we get some Omicron music, like scary, like Hammer House?
No, it's not scary though, because it's mild.
On the news, they
It's a
said it was
sniffle.
scary. On the news, it's
Yeah,
like,
I know.
so I want some Hammer House. We're going to work out some scary Omicron music. So whenever you hear Omicron, I don't know, like a bell or something. Anyway. But yeah, I heard there's a new strain now coming out of...
What's it called now? It starts with a P.
P or H? I forget. No, this is terrible.
No, it's like Florena. It's like Flourna or something, or I don't know how you pronounce
Is that
it.
even in
But
the
they
Greek
said there's
alphabet?
a case in California, in Southern California,
just making
as of
stuff up
today.
there, bro.
Florona. It's a mixture of flu and coronavirus.
Corona,
Is that
yeah.
even possible?
Right, that's what they're saying. It doesn't make any sense. It's not even medically possible, but okay.
Somebody caught the flu and had coronavirus at the same time. So, yeah. Yeah. You see black people, they hear something, they create a whole new sin thing out of it.
Well, they said it came from Israel. That was like Monday, I think it was.
Israel's the research lab. Trust me, that's where they're doing all their research on all this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's possible that our bodies are filled with different viruses and bacteria, right? We have trillions. So we can be infected with more than one thing, like get sick from more than one thing at a time. So there you go with the flu and also coronavirus at the same time.
IHU.
IHU.
It was like an acronym, but it was, yeah. Is that the one from France, right?
42 mutations.
Right, it has 4 mutations. But then the World Health Organization is downplaying it. So this is what they do. They downplay it until it becomes a major pandemic around the world. And we find out that it was a mild one. Anyway, who knows? We'll just have to follow this one as we follow all the other ones. But yeah, we're getting...
But everyone's getting hit with Omicron at the moment, and it's a lot milder. Unless you have a pre-existing condition, comorbidity.
Happy New Year to us both from Belize. We're getting from here, Dr. Amson.
Did we answer everything for you, Tamika? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I did. So I wanted to ask. I did the 30-day fruit detox, and then I was just like on that regimen, and I was losing weight, like getting more fit, but my milk supply dropped, so I decided not to like do it as intense as I was.
Okay.
Is there... Oh, sorry, I'm reading this comment. Is there something like in place that I could still do and just keep my milk supply up?
I don't know what to tell you if your milk supply has... Now, did you get it normal, back to normal?
Yeah, I got it back to normal.
Okay, so everybody has thresholds. So there's a point where your body has found homeostasis. If you go when you go beyond it, you may find something declines. So you are nursing. So when you say you was intense and then you pull back, did you start eating undesirables, or what did you do? Did you just not fast as much?
I didn't fast as much. And reduce the intent. Like I was like working out like every day because that's what I was used to doing before. But once I stopped fasting as much and I reduced my workout.
Okay. So, all right. So if that's working and you're not, are you gaining weight like that you don't want, or are you happy where you are?
I've been fluctuating. Like, so I'm 5'10". Like my pre-baby weight was 165, but I was pretty lean. Right now I'm fluctuating between like 189 and 193.
Okay. And how old is the baby?
She is 9 months.
Okay. And was it becoming where the baby was becoming agitated for not getting enough milk?
Yes.
Okay. So at 9 months now, you can, even though you might be producing less milk, right? You can start feeding your baby other stuff,
right?
Alongside with your breast milk, because at least 2 years is supposed to be breastfeeding, at least 2 years. So so it's whatever else you're feeding the baby, so they're still getting nutrients from you, but when you first had the baby, what was your weight?
Ooh, I got up to like 250.
All right. So 190 isn't that bad, but it's all on you. If you look, when you look in the mirror, if you're happy with what you see staring back at you, and you're feeling energized, it's about how you feel and how if you're satisfied with how you look.
Right.
So you don't have to like stop everything, but you can still intermittently fast and make sure you're getting in fact one of the things what I've stalled on doing is putting together a meal plan for women who are nursing, postnatal. I have to put a meal plan together, so you do have those galactagogues that help you to produce.
Oh, that would
milk.
be great. Because I plan on nursing for quite a while longer. My first daughter, I nursed her for 2.5 years. So I plan on going for a while, at least, or unless she weans off early, that's fine too. But
you're doing great. A lot of women can't nurse for more than a few months. Some are never able to do it. So in this day and age, if you're doing it, congratulations. People just go straight to the bottle, formulas, goat milk, all kind of powders and stuff. So
just don't whip it out in crowded places.
Totally do that.
That's what I'm saying. Don't be whipping it out.
Right.
I knew you were going to say something.
It'll be all right.
No, because you know what? You're sitting down, you're minding your own business. Somebody sits next to you, next minute they whip it out. You're like, oh, my days. Unless of course.
I think it's a beautiful thing.
Oh.
It's just feeding a baby.
That's all
no
it is,
big
man.
deal.
I did it.
You did it. What do you mean you did it?
I'll tell you about that another time, but yeah. So, Tanika, have we confused you utterly more than you were before you joined the call?
What happened?
Have we confused you more than you were before you joined the call? Are you?
No, that meal plan would be great, though. I know you guys are working on it. I know you're probably working on a lot of things, but no,
we actually do get a lot of questions around that. A lot of women who are breastfeeding, who are nursing, who are planning to have children ask the same question. So, honestly, when we started doing this in Dr. Amps, we definitely started writing the books. It was not so much a low-hanging fruit, but where, the crisis was. And the crisis was, at the time with, fibroids, black women going under the knife for all manner of things. So we sort of targeted that quite specifically. As, that's grown and we've gotten more exposure and we've gotten more, we've dealt with other issues, we can now start, creating meal plans and dealing with some of the more maintenance type stuff. So it's not for lack of wanting. It's just, I guess, a matter of resource and time. So, yeah, we're definitely going to get to something like that as well.
Oh, question. What is that when I'm like doing the intermittent fasting, like what's a good, I guess, starting point? Because I'm not advanced when it comes to fasting, but
well, it's about your window. It's about your window. So start at like 3 p.m. ending at like 7 or 8. So you give yourself a 5-hour window and then just narrow. As you get more advanced, you just narrow that window.
So that's the eating windows from like 3 to 7 or something like that.
Yeah, 3 to 7. Then you can move it up 4 to 7.
Okay.
Or 4 to do 3 till 8, right?
Right.
Between 3 and 8, where you have a heavy, you have your big meal and then you just have little fruits or whatever, light snack, if you will, because we don't like people to snack, right? But if you are in your window, it's okay if all right, I'm eating between these hours. So it's less of a snacking and more of that you're just providing your body with calories and whatnot. But if you find that, all right, you've stabilized, like your weight has stabilized, has rested in one place, and it's not where you want to be, that means, okay, lessen your intake of food, right? So you can still have the same window, but less calories in that window.
Got it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank
you, Tanika.
You're welcome, Tanika.
Amanu had you up next. How are you doing? Miss Tiru.
Amana.
I'm doing great. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How y'all doing?
Doing great.
That's awesome. I'm glad y'all back. We missed y'all.
We miss being here. We miss y'all. I don't say y'all.
You do?
I felt
good.
I've been saying y'all a lot more.
I know why you're saying it, but I'm not a y'all guy yet. You lot.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I have a question. It's not about me.
Asking for a friend, quote unquote.
My daughter is 34 years old, and I'm about to go through menopause, so it's definitely not for me. But I do know somebody about to have surgery, and my question to you: if a young woman, and she's young, baby age making, you know what I'm saying? Should a woman have surgery to remove a large fibroid to get pregnant? And will it really guarantee a woman to actually get pregnant if she already previously had fibroids before, but they were small, and this time now
and
they're really large?
How old is she?
Like they're 37.
She's 37.
Which is not me.
Okay.
I keep telling you it's not me. You're going to think it's me, it's not.
All right. So she's never had any babies.
Nope, never did.
And fibroids are interfering with fertilization.
Well, where it's located at is in the area where doctors are saying that it's impossible because where it's located. Now, we know there are women that get pregnant with fibroids, but it depends on where they located, and how big and how many they have and stuff like that.
Has she been trying and she can't get pregnant and it's due to the fibroids, right?
No, she had tried to get pregnant before and she didn't have fibroids.
So when she didn't have fibroids, she didn't get pregnant?
Yes. But now she has a large one, and I want to know, should she go through with the surgery?
Right, it might not, and that's the thing, is that if she has her gynae and the gynae says this is why, or an endocrinologist who has looked through her blood work and her through her charts and everything and has determined that okay, everything's functioning right, it's just the fibroid is blocking such and such, then if she has surgery to remove the fibroid that is blocking her fallopian tubes or whatever, right? Then I would say if she wants to have a baby now, because that clock is ticking, because she's 37, right? But if she tried to get pregnant earlier when she didn't have fibroids, then it's something else going on with her endocrine system, her hormones, and her endocrine system.
So my question to you is, if a lot of women, well, there are some women that had got rid of fibroids through surgery and still got pregnant. What can a person do after surgery to heal the womb after surgery from getting something like that done?
Well, here's the thing, is that surgery is a dangerous thing. It's a lot more dangerous than people think, right? When you get cut open, right, there's scarring that can take place. They remove fibroids and then scarring can then block the fallopian tubes, can cause other issues, right? There's sepsis that can take place, right? There's a number of things, blood clots that can take place after surgery, right? But even though we don't like to recommend surgery, in certain cases, we'll say, okay, you know what, you don't really have a choice at the moment, but our whole, this thing here, right? Fibroid elimination, right?
I'll let her know about it.
The point of this is to naturally eliminate fibroids without surgery, to balance your hormones, whether you have fibroids or cysts or endo, right? Whether you have adenomyosis. It's all about getting rid of the estrogen dominance, right? Which is the root cause. In most cases is the root cause. And to balance hormones, to get the body working how it's supposed to work again, all right? So women who have surgery and they don't change their lifestyles, it's going to come back.
Straight back. We had comments in there
today. And with a vengeance. So the whole protocol, because this is a lifestyle. This book introduces women to a lifestyle of eliminating substances from their diet and their life, whether it be hair oils, whether it be makeup, relaxers, Vaseline, what they put on their skin, whatever it is. It's about having a lifestyle where you're not promoting estrogen dominance within the body, right? And when you eliminate, and we got the Great Black Fibroid Detox, and it's about detoxifying the body from these substances that are promoting estrogen dominance, among other things, right? So estrogen dominance is one thing, but then when you start factoring in other common ailments that women have or people have, right, they can contribute. So there's also vitamin D deficiency that will contribute to infertility.
Hmm.
And can I just add
if she smokes and drinks, that can contribute.
No, she don't. No, she don't smoke and drink, and she don't eat no meat at all.
Right.
Yeah. There's something, and Dr. Hampson talks all the time about polymorphisms. There's something she's doing unwittingly, likely by the sounds of it. It seems like she's someone that tries to eat clean, but the fibroid has developed. So there's something,
for years.
Yeah, something she's imbibing.
Yeah,
something in her environment, something she's doing, again, unwittingly, maybe something that's being done to her, right? It's causing this. But here's the thing. You said it yourself at the top of your question, timing. She wants to get pregnant. She has this fibroid. She's considering having surgery. Dr. Am said she's trying to have a baby now. I mean, like she needs to get pregnant tomorrow, right? So what she's doing is that she's putting that in the critical part of the baby is the fibroid, right? People come on our program and in 2 weeks their fibroids shrink. They see reduction. They see a change. They see a change. Days. We don't like to put a time in it. Like if you do this, then in this window in 10 days or in 90 days. The thing is that if you're asking us, if you're asking Dr. Amsi, you're asking myself and anyone probably on this call, if you had the option to spend a little bit of time, give her 90 days, like try and do it the natural way and shrink this fibroid naturally, because not only will it probably help reduce the fibroid, chances are it's going to help with the underlying issue she has why she couldn't get pregnant before she had the fibroid. Because remember, based on what you've told us, Amana, but what you've told us, taking the fibroid out isn't going to guarantee she gets pregnant, because she wasn't getting pregnant before the fibroid. Do you see what I mean? So I think what Dr. Amps is saying is that she needs to fix the underlying issue, which is something that's probably going to be helped with changing a diet and taking the right supplementations and getting on this program.
And this is the thing, is that because you are not her, there are certain questions that you can't answer because was she ever on any form of birth control? Did she have anything in, was she on IUD? Did she have any clamps or anything like that? Because these are factors that will determine what's going on in her body right now. So how long was she on birth control for? What birth control was it? Because this might be a factor as to why she can't get pregnant. It might not have anything to do with the fibroid.
So even if a woman was on birth control in their early 20s and had stopped and had been 5 to 6, 7 or 8 years, it still can affect them now.
Yes.
And if they was on birth control in the last 6 months and stopped 6 months ago, then it still can affect them now, even though they hadn't been on birth control in 6 months or a year or even 3 months.
Yes. Birth control, you know, we have a movement, #kill the pill, which we will be, you know, we're going to go in on that this year.
Relaunch.
But the danger of birth control, it has become something that is trivial in society. That is just, you know what, take this and you won't get pregnant. Take this so you won't get pregnant. Take this if you have acne. Take this if, you know, you're overweight. Take this if you're underweight. Take this for all these different reasons, like it's something that's trivial. But it interferes with how your brain operates.
Well, I know some women that got on birth control because they didn't want to have heavy, painful periods.
Right. And so birth control,
pregnant.
a lot of birth control is being dished out for non-contraceptive reasons. Nothing to do with getting pregnant, right? And women will be on it for years because, it regulates my cycle. I don't have no cramps when I'm on it. I don't bleed as heavily or whatever. And then, you know, you're fooling your body into believing it's pregnant. Think about this. All you women who have had children, you know the toll pregnancy takes on the body.
Yes.
Now imagine your brain and its glands believes you are pregnant for years. What kind of toll is it taking? Right? So birth control is, you know, the World Health Organization has classified it as a group 1 carcinogen.
What?
Cancer-causing substance. Yes.
Not that it might, it will. There's a high
Group
probability that
That's
it
what
will.
I heard. I heard that it does cause cancer as a woman gets older. That it might not cause cancer when you're 25, but now you're 65 or 50, and
But
you
when
forgot
when was the
younger.
fuse lit? But when was the fuse lit? You know.
There you go. And you know, it causes neurological damage. It shrinks glands in the brain.
What?
And how many women after 35 are starting to go on the pill? No, it's something you take in your 20s, in your teens, right?
Wow.
So it's misleading in that sense.
You know, and you know, there's the blood clotting. Depends on which one you're on. There's blood clotting, thrombosis. You know, there's and this is one of the things, right? So just to segue into what's going on with vaccinations, right? So a lot of undertakers. So there's one undertaker in particular, an English guy, who in 14 years of being an undertaker, in the last year, he's seen more thrombotic deaths than 14 years combined in the space of 1 year. Thrombosis cases have jumped through the roof. And every single one of those thrombosis cases, right, and he might be exaggerating a bit, but they were people who were within a few months had received vaccine. Now, imagine somebody who is on a birth control that is known to cause thrombosis who also has the vaccine. The risks of thrombosis, right? So we know with men under the age of 40, there's myocarditis, right? From teenager through to like the age of 40, the increase in risk of myocarditis jumps through the roof, right? But thrombosis is a major issue, and in the UK, I can't speak for over here, right? Because, you know, we haven't had any undertakers in this country yet. Maybe they are, but they're being censored. But somehow this guy managed to get his stuff out there, and it was out there long enough to go viral, and he's been invited onto shows, and he's taught, you know, he's speaking about him speaking to superiors and, you know, the whole board they have what's going on with this, you know? And one thing that's happening in the UK is that if you take the vaccine and 14 days have not gone by, clinically they can't say that you've had the vaccine. So people who get thrombosis immediately after having the vaccine, they can't put the vaccine as being cause of death. So they'll say thrombosis, but not due to the vaccine because it's not been after 14 days. So the numbers are skewed with that, you know. So, but anyway, back to the birth control, right? There's so many side effects, adverse effects that comes from birth control, and part of it is, fibroids being caused, endometriosis being caused, cysts, depression, and anxiety and depression, because it heightens adrenals.
Yeah.
Right? So depression and suicide becomes an issue. So I don't want to ramble on too long because we have a couple more questions, and we are actually after 7 o'clock. So I hope we answered all your questions, Amana.
Thank you. I'll let her know. Thank you.
All right.
And bring her on next time so she can answer.
Yes.
She can wear a mask or something, extra makeup and a wig if she's scared. Like,
are we doing Friday?
We may do Friday. Is Friday a holiday?
No, it's not a holiday. We'll tell her to come on Friday. We're going to do Friday.
Okay, I will.
All right, Amana. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're going to close out with Janice.
Hey, Janice.
Yes, one simple question I forgot to ask earlier. When it comes to the Qigong exercise, have you ever thought of making a video? Because I tried my best to read through the instructions and do them, but I wasn't sure if they were right. So it would be helpful if you did a video that we could actually see them.
All right. So whenever I thought that the video was being sent out when they buy the link to the video. So
we had so many complaints about the video that we had to.
No. I have an expert video. I have an expert video where I'm wearing authentic Chinese
pajamas.
No, not pajamas. I'm wearing authentic Chinese outfits, kung fu things, And hater over here is basically trying to say it's pajamas, but they're not. But you'll see.
No, I did not get the link. Maybe others did, but I thought that would be helpful.
All right. So, can we put the link into the chat? Oh, well, send an email, Janice, and we'll send you the link.
WhatsApp it to me and I'll put it in if you can.
Thank you.
You can't get to it.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, when you see that, you'll know why Dr. Amsu was asked to be in many a kung fu movie.
All right.
Kung fu cartoon. But on a serious note, and on that note, it's a great video, but we do want to do a new one. Actually, we're going to look for some talent to create a new video because times are moving on, and we get a lot of questions about it. It's actually really important, and the more we can disseminate it, we've had requests for Dr. Amsi to do it live from his pajamas, but he's always refused. So we'll probably do another video at some point. So we'll get the link to you, Janice.
Thank you. I sent my message. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Well, listen, thank you to everyone that joined the call today. The clinic is actually great. We had questions from the IG, from the Zoom, of course, and from the chat. I'm getting questions on my WhatsApp. You see me, I've got all my devices going when I'm here because we're getting hit from all different places. We try and get everyone on the Zoom, but for some reason, some people can't get on the Zoom, but no worries. We are providing different platforms. Sooner or later, we may be exclusively on YouTube, or we may have a small set of people like yourselves on the Zoom and then broadcast to YouTube as we start to promote these sessions. So we really appreciate you guys coming on. You guys have been our beta for, when's our anniversary we've been doing? We've been doing this so long now. We didn't even clock it. You guys can go back and let us know the first time you joined one of these sessions, probably 6 to 8 months ago, maybe a year ago when I think about it, even longer. And then we'll celebrate. We'll have a cake. We'll have a vegan cake here one day. I always promise these things, they never happen because hater on my left always.
Stop off and get that chocolate one.
The chocolate.
We'll just talk about chocolate.
We had a cacao. All right, I'm going to get a for vegan. Friday. Shall I get it for Friday? If I get it for Friday, no one's going to eat it over the weekend. Yeah, so we'll get it for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're gonna eat the whole cake by Friday. You can take some home. You can take some. We're gonna get vegan, and we're gonna let you know if you're in Atlanta where you can get this vegan cake. Deshawn's in Atlanta?
No, I don't know.
Well, she likes getting stuff.
No, I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, she's in Florida.
You're in Miami. You're in
the
Caribbean.
It's called MiamiFruits.com. You can get that cacao if you really want it.
Okay, send us a link.
We ain't trying to cook and bake nothing. We'll buy the cake. We'll just buy the cake.
Just saying, if anybody wants it, they have a lot of exotic fruits and stuff on there.
Share the link in the chat.
Share the link. Share the link.
Share the link in the chat. All right, guys. Well, listen, everyone on the call knows if you're not new, make sure you download the app. You can send us updates in the app. Tell us how you're doing. We love the testimonials.
And Nadira, I did get your, I've got your Google Drive stuff. So I'm gonna, when I have time, I'm gonna be looking over that. So I'll give you a call. Okay.
All right, folks, we're gonna stop talking now. Love you guys. Glad to be back. 2022. All the resolutions, blowing out candles. We're gonna do it together. Pinky promise and all the rap. But right now, we're sending love to everyone. Be blessed. Happy detoxing, safe detoxing. We'll see all of you guys on Friday for the ones that want to be here. Otherwise, we'll catch you all next week.
Take care, everybody.
Peace out.
Yeah, bye.